G'day viewers, it's Michael here again and welcome back to SingleRacer. And now this is the third and final video in this three-part series featuring these three brilliant cars from both VRC and RSS or Racing Studio. And so because this is the last video featuring these three cars, at least as a group, I hope to show these cars off individually at some other stage, but as a group, this will be the last video. I thought I would do three individual hot laps on three different tracks, featuring of course these three different cars. And so for simplicity's sake, in one hand, from the frame rates point of view, where I just wanted slightly better frame rates than VR can give, but also because it is only October 2019, but it's already been 3 or 4 days of 30 plus degrees. I can't believe it. So it looks like it's going to be a very hot long summer. So I thought I would just leave VR out of the replays, and instead what I'll do is I'll have both an internal and an external camera view for each track in the replay. So if you just go to the description, if you like a particular internal or cockpit view or external camera view on any particular track with these cars, just go to the one you particularly like the most yourself. And so I'll have a timestamp in the description for each particular replay. But just before we go hot lapping, just a couple of housekeeping things, because this is the first group of laps that I did with my newly bought G29, the Logitech G29, and it was interesting to try it out in the sense that I guess logically, or I guess that should be Logitechly, I didn't notice much difference, except for a couple of things. It is supposed to have, the G29 surprisingly is supposed to have a little less force feedback power than my older Driving Force GT. The Driving Force GT is quoted as 2.5 Newton meter. Yeah, I know. I don't know how I cope with that, but yeah, 2.5. Whereas the G29 is listed as up to 2.5, interestingly. But what I noticed was I felt I got more detail in the new wheel, and you know, I guess that just goes with the fact that it's a new generation wheel from the older one. But also I was able to go, I actually think the foot brake is worse. I don't particularly like the foot brake, but interestingly it stopped me from locking up as much as I normally do. So I noticed I was able to go deeper into the corners, more so than my previous wheel. And so we come to the housekeeping bits where all three laps were done on a default car. With using the new wheel, I wanted to make sure it was completely default, so no change in fuel, tyres or gears. Completely stock as they come when you purchase them. Also importantly, these are my first tries. Now what I mean by that is they're not the first goes that I had, because I needed to practice the cars to kind of get a feel for what they were like on the individual tracks. But what I mean is there's no second or third laps in any of these with lower fuel. So they are the genuine first lap tries on the full amount of fuel that you get in the default car. And then thirdly, which is appropriate given there's three cars, but for anyone that owns these cars or likes a particular car in this group, and because I wanted to make sure in these three hot laps that they were done in their default guise as you purchase them, if anyone would like to see me try a hot lap on any of your favourite tracks, or on the same tracks that I do but with a full setup, you know, as fast as I can go on any particular track that you like, just leave a comment in underneath the video and I'll try and get to it at some stage. It would be great to have a challenge if you like a particular track and want to see how these cars do, or any particular car in this group. And now I don't particularly care if it's a Kunos track or a mod track, just preferably, for the sake of the most viewers, a track relative to these cars. In other words, not an obscure, say, karting track or something like that. So now let's head on over to the Hotlap. So this is Michael signing out for SingleRacer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go hotlapping. ×3.